First, let's look at some of the basic characteristics of ammonia. The formula of ammonia is NH3. It is a colorless gas. It has a pungent choking smell. Now let's look at the lab preparation of ammonia. The reactants used are ammonium chloride and calcium hydroxide. Why is ammonium chloride used instead of ammonium nitrate? Since ammonium nitrate is explosive in nature and decomposes on heating. Why is calcium hydroxide used? Because it is cheap and not deliquescent. The reaction for a lab preparation is ammonium chloride combines with calcium hydroxide to form calcium chloride, water and ammonia. We need to use a higher percentage of calcium hydroxide during the reaction in the ratio 2:3. The reason for that is to prevent the sublimation of ammonium chloride. Ammonia is collected by the downward displacement of air. The reason for that, since ammonia is lighter than air. The drying agent used here is quicklime. The drying agents which are not used are concentrated sulfuric acid, phosphorus pentoxide and fused calcium chloride. The reason is that they react with ammonia. Ammonia can also be prepared by using metal nitrates. When metal nitrates are treated with warm water, it will form metal hydroxide and ammonia. For example, magnesium nitrate reacts with warm water to form magnesium hydroxide and ammonia. Similarly, aluminum nitrate reacts with warm water to form aluminum hydroxide and ammonia. Why is this method not used? Since it is expensive. Next, we need to find out how ammonia can be identified. So in order to identify ammonia, we can take a glass rod dipped in concentrated hydrochloric acid and bring it near the mouth of the jar. If white fumes of ammonium chloride is formed, then it confirms the presence of ammonia. How is ammonia manufactured? The process we use is called Habers Process. The reactants used in the process is nitrogen and hydrogen in the ratio 1:3. The reaction during this process is nitrogen reacts with hydrogen to form ammonia. The temperature of the reaction should be between 450 to 500 degrees Celsius. The reason for such a temperature, the reason for this is that the reaction is exothermic, so a low temperature is preferred. The pressure should be between 200 to 900 atmospheric pressure. The reason for that is since the volume of reactants is more than the volume of product. Here you can see 1 volume of nitrogen combines with 3 volumes of hydrogen to form 2 volumes of ammonia. The catalyst used here is finely divided iron, since it increases the rate of reaction. The promoter used is molybdenum, since it increases the efficiency of the catalyst. The ammonia formed here can be recovered by using two methods. The first method is liquefaction. Liquefaction is condensing ammonia to a liquid form. The reason for that is ammonia has a boiling point of minus 33 degrees Celsius, whereas the boiling point of hydrogen is minus 196 degrees Celsius, and oxygen has a boiling point of minus 253 degrees Celsius. So it's easier to liquefy ammonia since ammonia has a higher boiling point than hydrogen and oxygen. The second method used is dissolving in water, since ammonia is highly soluble in water. Now let's look at the fountain experiment. The purpose of the experiment is to show that ammonia is highly soluble in water. You can also observe the red litmus solution turns blue. This shows ammonia is basic in nature. Now let's look at the chemical properties of ammonia. The first property is when ammonia reacts with oxygen. There are two cases. The first case is burning of ammonia in oxygen, and the second case is the catalytic oxidation of ammonia, that is in the presence of a catalyst. Let's look at the first case. burning of ammonia in oxygen. The reaction in this case is ammonia reacts with oxygen to form nitrogen and water. Here you will observe it burns with a greenish yellow flame. In the catalytic oxidation of ammonia, the reaction will be in two steps. In the first step, ammonia reacts with oxygen in the presence of platinum at 800 degrees Celsius to form nitric oxide and water. In the second step, the nitric oxide form will react with oxygen to form nitrogen dioxide. You will observe reddish-brown vapors of nitrogen dioxide. The second property of ammonia is ammonia as a reducing agent. Ammonia is a strong reducing agent. It reduces copper oxide to copper. Ammonia reacts with copper oxide to form copper, water and nitrogen. The observation over here is black copper oxide is reduced to reddish-brown copper. Another example of this is it reduces lead oxide to lead. The reaction is similar to copper oxide. Ammonia reacts with lead oxide to give lead, water and nitrogen. The observation is yellow colored lead oxide is reduced to greyish metallic lead. The next property we will discuss is ammonia with chlorine. This reaction also shows the reducing power of ammonia. There are two cases in this. In the first case, when ammonia is in excess, and in the second, when chlorine is in excess. In the first case, if ammonia is in excess, there are two steps in the reaction. In the first step, ammonia reacts with chlorine to form nitrogen and hydrogen chloride. In the second step, ammonia reacts with hydrogen chloride to form ammonium chloride. You can combine the reaction where ammonia, which is in excess, combines with chlorine to form nitrogen and ammonium chloride. You will observe chlorine, which has a yellowish green color, disappears and dense white fumes of ammonium chloride is formed. In the second case, ammonia reacts with excess of chlorine to form hydrogen chloride and nitrogen trichloride. The observation over here is it forms a yellow explosive liquid, which is nitrogen trichloride. Now let us go through the chemical properties of aqueous ammonia. We will see how ammonium hydroxide reacts with soluble metal salts. Here you need to learn the reactions, the color of the precipitates, and the solubility in excess of ammonium hydroxide. For the reaction, you can use the double decomposition method, where if AB reacts with CD, then the product form will be Cb and Ad. The first salt is ferrous sulfate. The reaction is ferrous sulfate reacts with ammonium hydroxide. Using the double decomposition method, ammonium sulfate and precipitate of ferrous hydroxide will be formed. The color of the precipitate is 30 green. In excess of ammonium hydroxide, it will be insoluble. The second salt is ferric chloride. So ferric chloride reacts with ammonium hydroxide to form ammonium chloride and precipitate of ferrous hydroxide. The color of the precipitate will be reddish brown, and in excess it is insoluble. In case of lead nitrate, the color of the precipitate will be white, and in excess insoluble. When zinc nitrate is used, the color of the precipitate will be white gelatinous and in excess soluble. In case of copper sulfate, the color of the precipitate will be pale blue and in excess it will be soluble. And the color of the solution will be deep blue. The next property of aqueous ammonia is with dilute acids. This type of reaction is called neutralization reaction, where an acid reacts with a base to form salt and water. The first reaction is with HCl. When ammonium hydroxide reacts with HCl, it forms ammonium chloride and water. Next, with nitric acid, ammonium chloride reacts with nitric acid to form ammonium nitrate and water. In case of sulfuric acid, when ammonium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid, it forms ammonium sulfate and water. So this completes the lesson. I have provided the link for the notes of ammonia in the description. You can download the app, go to the notes section and go through the notes. Thank you.